Dear students, welcome to another video on quartile deviation and its computation. We have learned the basics of quartile deviation, its theory. Similarly, we have seen the first part of the computation of quartile deviation, that is the computation of Q3. Now the rest of the processes we have to find out through this video. Welcome back again. What is dispersion and deviation? We know that. Quartile deviation, we have seen that it is a semi-interquartile range. Third quartile and first quartile we are taking together, computing the ranges, and we are going for semi of the range, that is semi-interquartile range. Got it? You can see this. This is Q2, that is we have mentioned median, and this is Q1 and Q3. Semi-interquartile range we have to calculate, that is quartile deviation. What is quartile deviation? Q3 minus Q1 upon 2. Now we are in the process of further calculation of quartile deviation. I already told you, when you have a clarity regarding median and Q3 calculation, definitely it will be easier for you to calculate Q1. You got a clarity regarding Q3. What was Q3? What was Q3? Let us remind. L3 plus 3n by 4 minus F3 upon small f3 into class interval. This was L3. We calculated and we got this value. Hope you remember, we got this value in the previous video. We have calculated Q3 and got the value 43.33. Why I have mentioned as such? Because we have to incorporate the same result in the quartile deviation calculation in this video as well. Yes, what is Q1? Now is the question. What is Q1? First quartile, where the 25% of cases come. That quartile we have to take. Alright. Yes, let me write again equation for Q1. What is Q1? So, just like Q3, how can we calculate and write the equation for that first? L1 plus first quartile, that is 1/4 of n, 1 by 4n, that is n by 4. Am I right? 1 by 4n, that is n by 4, minus capital F1 upon small f1 into h, that is h is class interval. Clear? This is the equation for quartile deviation Q1. So what we have mentioned, L1, n by 4, f1, small f1 and h. So let me come to a frequency distribution. How do we calculate? Before going to that, once again let me write it. This is the crux. We are going to calculate Q1. We are going to calculate Q1. What is Q1? L1 plus n by 4 minus capital F1 upon small f1 into class width. Let me write the respective values, respective explanation of each terminology. Q1 is first quartile, we know. So let me come to L1 first. L1 is exact lower limit of, yes, what class? Q1 class. We are talking about Q1. Exact lower limit of Q1 class. N is total of frequency, right? N is total of frequency. We have to calculate n by 4. So I have just mentioned n. What is F1? F1 is the capital F1 is always cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency of the class below the below the Q1 class, right? Below the Q1 class. Below Q1 class. Clear? Cumulative frequency of the class below or preceding to the. It will be always smaller class. Okay. Don't take that this is, if it is median class, it is below. No. It is about the smaller class I talk about. F1 is, small f1 is corresponding frequency of the Q1 class. Corresponding frequency of the Q1 class. Again we have H. This is class width or class interval. Clear? Everything is clear. Let us come to the clarity now. You got a clarity, right? Now we are coming to computation. Computation of Q1. How to identify Q1 from the following data, that is frequency distribution. Of course, we have to write the cumulative frequency first. Initially, let me add the frequency. So what is the total frequency we have? 5 plus 8, 13, 23, 41, 53, 60. N is 60. N is 60. I've just identified N first. I've written N first. What is next we have to see? Cumulative frequency. Then where N by 4 comes, that class is Q1 class. N by 4, where it comes in cumulative frequency, that class we have to identify, that is Q1 class, right? Yes, see, I'm writing the cumulative frequency. This is 5. The first class frequency, that is less than 10. How many measures are there? 5. Next, less than 20. 5 plus 8, 13, right? 5 plus 8, it is 13. Next is 13 plus 10 for the class that is less than 30. That we have is 23, right? 23. Got it. Next is again 18 to be added as the corresponding frequency. So it comes as 41, right? Now this is again we are adding less than 50. It is 53. Less than 60, we have 60. That is the total frequency we have. So now we have clearly identified what is cumulative frequency of each class, right? Now, identify the Q1 class. How do we identify? Yes, 25% of cases or N by 4 where it comes, that is Q1 class. N by 4 or 25% of cases where it comes in cumulative frequency. The class is Q1 class. So what is N here? N is 60. So what is 25% of 60 or N by 4? It is 60 by 4. So I got 15 as a cumulative frequency, 15 as the value. So where 15 comes in cumulative frequency, that I have to take as a Q1 class. Then only I can go for all these terms to identify. Okay. So 15, where cumulative frequency, we have cumulative frequency here. This is cumulative frequency, right? These are the values of cumulative frequency. Where 15 comes for the first time, yes. This is the, here 15 comes for the first time. So this class is Q1 class. This is Q1 class. Clarity is there, right? This is Q1 class. Now, why don't you apply everything like this? We need to identify the exact lower limit of the Q1 class. We have to identify capital F, that is cumulative frequency of the class preceding to the median class. Sorry, preceding to the, yes, next is F1, that is the cumulative frequency of the class preceding to the Q1 class. Next is corresponding frequency of the Q1 class, and H is class width or class interval. Is it clear? Yeah. See, let me rub all these and identify what are the values that we want. Yes, otherwise let me come to this one. Yeah. I have just taken, let me come to this slide, and we have to identify Q3, Q1 and quartile deviation all together. So the first calculation we just had is Q3. What is the value of Q3? We got is 43.33. Let me confirm. Yes, this value is 43.33. Now we have to go for Q1. We have selected various things of Q1. Now we are identifying what is L1. This is the Q1 class. So what is L1? Exact lower limit is 20. Why I take 20 not 19.5? Because this is an exclusive distribution. So I'll take 20 only. So let me come again. 20 plus, what is the equation? N by 4. I have to go for N by 4. What is N by 4? It is, I got N by 4 is 15, right? 60 is N. We have just calculated N by 4, right? What is N? N is 60. 60 by 4. We got 15. So N by 4 is 15 minus cumulative frequency up to the Q1 class. What is cumulative frequency of the Q1 class? It is 23. Up to the Q1 class, it is 13. Clear? This is capital F1, right? So I'm writing F1, this is 13. Am I right? Yes, 13. Now I need the corresponding frequency. What is corresponding frequency? This is small f1. This is 10. Corresponding frequency divided by corresponding frequency into class width. What is class width? Any two upper limit or lower limit you take the difference. Class interval, that is h is 10, right? 10. Again 20 plus 15 minus 13, 2 by 10 into 10. What is the value? 10 we have gone 22, right? 22 is the value of Q1. Any confusion? Is around the bracket, right? We got a value. Got it? So, how did we do it? We got a value 22. Am I right? How did you do that? Again, let me come to the quartile deviation equation. L1 plus n by 4 minus capital F1 upon small f1 into h. This is the initial part of quartile deviation equation, that is Q1. We have already identified Q3. Now we got the value of L1, N, capital F1, small f1 and h. Computed the value, we got finally 22 as the value of Q1. Let me rub again all this and directly write the value, that is Q1. What is the Q1 value? 22. So Q1, Q2 I got it. Q1, Q3 I got it. So the direct value I'm writing here, that is 22. So we got Q3 and Q1. Now what is quartile deviation? What is quartile deviation? Yes, quartile deviation is semi-interquartile range, that is Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Go for the quartile deviation. 43.33 minus 22 by 2. Yes, what is it? 43 minus 22. So I have 21.33 by 2. Go for the value. What is the value for quartile deviation? Phi by 2. Yes, go for a calculation. You can do that, right? What value you got it for quartile deviation? But you got the value for quartile deviation. I know that it is lengthy, but it's very easy and interesting. Am I right? What we have to do? Remember the equations first. You have to have a clarity on equations that you are going to apply. Second is identify and get a clarity regarding each terminology. What next is identify the terminology, each and every terms that we are using in the equation. Got a clarity? Yes. Now I'm just giving you one more calculation for your clarity. You have to do that. Let me write another calculation, which is inclusive distribution. We mentioned about exclusive distribution. How do you do in an exclusive distribution? You got a clarity now. Now for an inclusive distribution. Let me write the data here. Yes. Are you okay? Yeah. I'm just giving you 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69. These are my classes. Sorry. These are my classes, right? Let me give you the frequency, corresponding frequency. I have 2 here, I have 8 here, 13 here, 17 here, 10 here, 8 here, 2 here. These are the values I have. These are the values I have. What is the nature of the distribution here? Yes, the nature of the distribution, type of the distribution, it is inclusive. Inclusive. Both the upper limit and lower limit are included in the same class. 0 and 9 both are entered in the same class. 10 and 19 both are entered in the same class. So when you take the L3 and L1, you have to see it is exact lower limit, not the peripheral lower limit. It should be exact lower limit. So what we do exactly for this? Initially we go for cumulative frequency. This is the first stage we have to do for cumulative frequency. This is the first stage that we have to do as a part of quartile deviation calculation, right? 0 to 9, 2. So cumulative frequency is 2 only. 10 to 19, it is 8. So previous frequency we have to add, it is 10. This is 23. This is 40. This is 50. 58. 60. I got cumulative frequencies accordingly. Now the concern for me is, how do I go for Q3? For a clarity, for reconfirmation, let me write the equation again for you. It is L3 plus 3n by 4 minus capital F3 upon small f3 into h. You have to remember the formula now. You have to mention what it is. So initially, what is total n? I'm just adding 10, 23, 30 plus 10, 40, 50, 58 and 2, 60. 60 is the total of frequency, that is n. N is 60. So what is 3n by 4? 3n by 4. What it is 3n by 4? Yes, 3n by 4 is 45. Once 3n by 4 you got it 45. where Q3 class comes 40 and 45. This class is Q3 class, right? This is Q3 class. This is Q3 class. Now I don't want to tell you everything. See what is L3. L3 is a question. It is not 40 as it is inclusive distribution. So what it is? What is capital F3? What is small f3? Write in your copy, calculate it. How will be? Yes, you have to do that. H, what is H? Go for H. When you go for this way, whether you go for the other way. I told you, H is the difference between any two adjacent upper limit, any two adjacent lower limit. This is the way of calculating H, difference between any two adjacent upper limits or lower limits. Clear? So you got H also. The same way what you have to do for Q1, this is for equation Q3. Again for equation Q1, what is the equation for Q1? Yes, L1 plus n by 4 minus capital F1 upon small f1 into h, right? So the identification is Q1 class. What is n by 4? N is, what is n? 60. 60 is n. 60 by 4 it is 15. N by 4 is 15. Where 15 comes in cumulative frequency. Yes. This class is Q1 class, right? This is Q3 and this is Q1 class. Go for identification of specific values. What is the requirement for identification? L1 you have to identify. What is L1? What is capital F1? What is small f1? And what is h? Go for that. Now you get a clarity how to calculate. Through this equation, you calculate both Q3 and Q1. What is the next requirement for us? We have to calculate the quartile deviation. This is the rough calculation for Q3 and Q1. Quartile deviation is very easy formula. Yes, you know that, right? What is the equation for quartile deviation? Q3 minus Q1 by 2, right? Q3 minus Q1 by 2, that is quartile deviation. So you will get a value for quartile deviation. Identify the value. At least you have to do this. Because now you are watching the video, find out whether you are able to do that or not. So questions can come like, if what is F3, what is small f3, Q1 and Q2 is given, identify the quartile deviation. These types of questions can be asked in examination. Let us make it into practical statistical requirements of research. I hope that you got a clarity of quartile deviation now. Further, any clarity you need? But we have learned today. Yes, we have seen what is quartile deviation. We have gone through various stages of calculating L3. We have gone through the stages of calculating Q1 of we have gone through various stages of calculating Q1. Whatever we have learned in the related lecture regarding quartile deviation, we have calculated Q3, we have seen Q1, and we applied both Q3 and Q1 to get exact value of quartile deviation. How did you get it? Yes, quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Have you achieved the learning outcome desired for this lecture? Tell me. Yes. If not, if still you have confusion, I tried to give my maximum in terms of explanation. I rate it as very simplified. Go through the video once again, calculate Q1 and apply the Q1 and Q3 to make it as a value for quartile deviation. Do it once again, practice, come up with a solid base of quartile deviation. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Have a nice day. Thank you so much.